Hello and welcome back on the IBP series powered by Camelot. Today, the focus will be on IBP Excel Addin as of release 24.11 and the one before. Let's discover what the Excel UI, user interface, now propose to the IBP users. Right away, we go in a demo mode. In the new release, there is a few gadgets, like if you hover about the helps, then you can see which planning area, which user you are connected, gadget. Anyway, so first on the master data management. On this one, now, since release 24.08, if I'm not mistaken, anyway, you of course can still edit master data and planning objects. Whenever you are connecting, you're editing planning objects, you can search planning levels by means of key figure. Projected, and then we see that the projected stock is with prodlock and automatically selected here because of the key figure. What do we have also? You can now not only see the main attributes, the key attribute of the planning level, but any other attributes coming from the planning level you are trying to edit. And in particular, for instance, the location description, the product description, the family, the whatever, see the list of attributes coming from the planning level. Very interesting. The key figure, of course, you can still select the key figures. Of course, not all together, otherwise you are jamming your screen. Say, for instance, I wish to have these 3 key figures, and you can filter. And also the new stuff in master data and plot management, you can define global filter, not only local filter for this tab, but if you have several tabs at the bottom, then you may also define a filter similarly, pretty similar to the planning view setup. Okay, you can have global filters. That's for the planning object, new changes. And then for the master data, let's see that. In the master data, let's say I wish to edit product, location product, for instance, location product, here it is. Now you can cherry pick the attributes from the location product. There is here 26 attributes which you can cherry pick. You don't need to necessarily select them all, of course, and then you can remove the one you don't want. So meaning that you don't necessarily need to edit all the attributes. You can also move and reorganize the sequence of attributes on the result, on the final result. And because here in my case, I am editing location product, I can also benefit of product attribute and location attribute being defined in the two alternative, related master data type. Really interesting. And for instance, if I wish to see the product description, which is not a bad idea, product description, here it is, and then let's move it here, for instance. And then let's remove these useless attributes. Edit. The master data location product is with the selected attribute, and in gray, the one which are coming from the related master data type, like here, this coming from the product master data type and not from the location product. The other fields are like as per usual. And from the display of the Plobs, no change from the graphical perspective, only the way you define that in this pop-up. By selecting the attribute, selecting the key figure, and possibly filtering. Let's move on now to the next part of the presentation, which is the planning view element of the new release. In the planning view element, of course, you can still edit a planning view from a template or without any templates. Let me select this one, just not to have an overloaded screen. Here in this one, nothing has really changed in the term of the structure of the screen. What has changed since 24? First, you have a global setup to the full planning view, okay, as opposed to the different views that you could have within your planning view. Okay, each view is composed still of a time period, an attribute elements like location, product. No change here. Key figure the same. You define whatever you want to see. Then layout has not changed. And then the filter has not changed. Local filter for this worksheet. If I have several worksheets and I wish to have a global filter, I can also define that in the workbook selection. Now, depending, you are editing a planning view in the supply planning perspective or in the demand planning, you may have to also to mention the planning scope. You know, the one when you click heuristics or optimizer, this one will be constrained by the planning scope. It's defined here. And you can define the planning scope by still the subnetwork IDs or even by the product location. It's your decision. That's about the planning scope, which is visible here. And also the version and the scenario selection has changed and is now moved onto this left pan, which is applicable to the full view, not only by planning views, by worksheets. And from the selection perspective, where I was coming from, then you can definitely select something which is applicable to all views on the left side. A bit cumbersome to have to open and close this, but okay, anyway. And now in 2411, you may know about the local members, which was the capabilities to have additional key figures locally calculated in your template, in your planning view. Now this has become formula. They are nothing else than the local members renamed in formula. And you have a formula tabs added to the planning view. So let me first say activate automatic recognition and then go into the planning view. So here I am without any cosmetic because I've said without any cosmetic. So if you declare that you have automatic recognition of formula, then by inserting a key figure and say this is my new key, my local key, for instance, and you place a formula, this formula will trigger the recognition itself. Then you say it's equal to this plus this minus that. Okay, whatever, no, minus that, for instance. As soon as you press enter, now the system has recognized this is a so-called formula, newly named formula. And we see that my local key now is repeated. If I return now to the planning view, now the formula has been automatically added to my planning view. If I wish to see the content of that, you can edit. And here you recognize the element of what used to be local members. And by the way, the name is local member, okay, with the description and the formula itself, either in EPM name, EPM vocabulary, or you can even use the Excel vocabulary. And then here about this formula, then you need to define where by the planning view it is inserted, assigned to a member, which member, and then it comes after total location, but you could also define different attachment of your formula within your planning view. So in short, the formula replaced local member. This is nothing else than the local members. And therefore, you will not find anymore the local member management in report editor. This one has disappeared. This is it. We have reached the end of this episode. It was an easy episode just to keep you updated with the new recent evolution of the Addin, the Excel Addin for IBP. I hope you appreciated this episode. If so, don't forget a thumb up or even a subscription. Makes my day. Anyway, see you later in the next episode.